1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to another episode of Red Rising. This week, we discuss Part 3 of Red Rising, following the confused little killers into House Mars as they try to navigate friendship and betrayal. While we expand upon the personalities introduced in Part 2 and are introduced to new memorable ones, we talk about their impact on Darrow and us as the readers. We explore Titus and Roque, what makes a red, or a gold, what makes Darrow different, and how these questions permeate throughout the story. Lo, Reaper, Pierce Brown, come on to the podcast. The following contains major spoilers for Pierce Brown's Red Rising trilogy. The series also includes depictions of graphic violence, torture, slavery, sexual violence, and genocide. Reader discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
And we're back.
Welcome. We're not back. We never started.
We're back.
Yeah.
We never started. All right, so we are on episode 4, part 3, which is 123 pages, effectively picking up where Darrow has killed Julian to the end when Cassius stabs Darrow, which is, as we have been discussing,
a lot of
plot.
We got into
happens.
a big fight about the order of events. The podcast almost disbanded. It was really touch and go for a second, but we've come back together.
See, this is so interesting, though, because it's another dichotomy here, because this time, I feel like, Sam, I think you might have touched on this. The last episode, the last part, was maybe not exactly a lot of plot, but a lot of substance. And I think it's unfair to say that this part is not a lot of substance, but it's kind of like the opposite of the last part.
I completely agree.
Happens.
And I think it does, maybe it doesn't lack substance, but it doesn't have as much substance as the second one. That's why we could fight about it, because the order of events doesn't really matter. Like, there's a few, it's like he knew like what was going to happen and then just put like excitement around it. And so we were a little confused about when some of them fell, but we've got it down. And Craig, you want to walk us through it?
Yeah, so we're going to do a high level just overview because so many things happen. And so we literally had to take notes. So Darrow is dealing with the sadness of having killed Julian. All of the kids that survive are brought into this, I don't know, cafeteria area.
New student day.
And everyone's awkward. Fitchner comes in and says, "Let me tell you how the game works." And so he takes them out on a run and explains that, this is a game. There are 12 houses. And he asks the group, what's the point of the game? Nobody answers except Darrow, who's like, you got to make one tribe out of 12. Because Darrow somehow is picking up on this is just the society in a nutshell. So then we have the opportunity for Cassius and Darrow to take over the group. They have a moment where they're the most powerful, and they let it slip. And so instead of making Mars into one house, we get 4 little mini tribes in Mars. Titus's bully group, Antonia, Severo, Darrow. Those 4 squads.
Severo being alone.
Being effectively...
He is, a tribe unto himself.
A tribe of one.
Yeah.
And then we get this really interesting mini movie, effectively, of us watching Titus from Darrow's eyes attack Ceres, thank you. Ceres, and become a monster, effectively. Right?
Yeah.
He comes to the realization with Cassius and Roque and his squad that, like, they got to change the paradigm because there's no hope that they're going to do anything with Mars at this point. So, and this
the paradigm being that Mars always burns hot and fast and fights with each other. That's the paradigm. That's what they have to change.
Yeah. Previous Academy Mars.
Yeah. And so they have to come up with a plan, and the plan is they need to find another house and make an ally out of that house. So they go on a walk in the woods, Cassius and Darrow. They run into Mustang, and they drop some hints purposefully about where Mars is, knowing that Mustang and whatever house she's a part of will then go and attack Mars, which will do them the favor of maybe dealing with Titus. They jump into the lock to escape Mustang and her squad. Severo comes and saves them. The 3 of them then go to House Minerva and steal the Minervan standard and the Minervan cook, June.
That's a Mustang's house.
Mustang's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
so they trick
go...
her into taking Mars, and then they're going to hold the Standard ransom till she leaves.
Exactly.
That's the
So they
plan.
go back. Mustang is like, wow, you guys are monsters. What have you been doing
Yeah.
here?
Rightfully
and
so. She's
Dara's like,
disgusted.
we'll deal with Titus. Mustang and her squad leaves. They get their Standard back. Then we're on to part 2 of making allies, where they need to go and find a third house so that they can take down Mustang's house, right?
Quick note, Mustang and Minerva leave after the whole group of them overtake Titus, and Titus falls.
And Titus falls.
Yeah. So she only, you're saying she only volunteers to leave when she knows that Titus is going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
That's one thing that matters to her.
Mhm.
So that's on Darrow, and he does, and we'll
Then-
talk about that at
So
length, I'm
basically, we
sure.
get unity of House Mars, and then Craig onto exactly what you were
Oh, well,
discussing.
then I missed the big... We realize that Titus is a red.
Okay,
Guess
spoiler
that's
alert.
big.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
It's kind of big.
And they have to kill Titus. And Darrow makes the huge mistake of letting Cassius do it instead of him doing it. So then they're going to move on from that, and they go find, in the Great Woods, they find House Diana, and they convince House Diana that wouldn't it be great for them to temporarily ally against House Minerva. They do. We get the great scene where there are dead horses, and Severo and Tactus are snuggled up in the belly of a horse. Fight scene with Pax Telemanus. They take over House Minerva.
Yes.
Mustang leaves. Darrow follows her so that she's not killed by Tactus. Lets her go. And then
then we kind of like switch tone a little bit. We go back to House Mars, and Darrow's in charge, and he's living large.
right.
But then they get an emissary from the Jackal.
Well, first Tactus
Who
assaults
he's
someone.
right.
Also, we shouldn't forget that Cassius does get humiliated by Titus at one point, and that's sort of why Darrow lets him.
Oh yeah, he gets peed on. That's
He gets peed
earlier.
Cassius
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cassius.
yeah.
Just to,
We
like,
can touch on
sort
that
of-
more when we.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think a lot of this
Yeah.
comes into play now because when we're talking about this transition, it's like, how does Darrow lose power in this? Like, how does it
Right.
all
Mhm.
break down? And it's based on those decisions, what happened to Cassius, how he killed Titus, and now all of a sudden there's this someone from the Jackal that we've heard is this big scary dude who like
Right.
leaves a package for Cassius, marks Darrow as a dead man, and then do you want to take it from here? Craig, Cassius and Severo head off.
Cassius and Severo head off to assault House Diana, which is in the Great Woods. And then we get the first of 2 betrayals, where Leah, who is Roque's lover.
Ugh,
Love
they're teens,
interest.
but okay.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Partner.
Crush.
Crush. Tricks
Ugh.
Darrow into leaving the castle. Antonia kills Leah in an attempt to have Darrow come out. Darrow goes back to his castle. Cassius comes back and is like, here's Diana's standard. Everybody's sad and searches for Roque. And then the very next night, Cassius does the same thing that Leah does. And he's like, we've found Roque. Come
We
with
need your
me
help.
now. We need
Come
your
to
help.
a remote location.
Yeah, just you and me. I'll carry these swords. And then we have the final moment of part 3 of the book where Cassius has realized that Darrow killed Julian and he stabs Darrow through the stomach with the
That-
iron blade turned off.
Yeah, that pack in his boot was a hologram of the fight that Darrow had with his brother, and he sees how he monstrously killed his brother, and so he stabs him. And the iron blade being turned off is important, ion blade, because it would normally cauterize the wound as it goes in, but he just leaves a dirty, bloody, oozing wound,
Muddy.
and Darrow fades to black, and that's the end.
All right, we
right.
got through the summary.
Yes.
Whoa!
We did it.
Good
Yeah,
for
yes.
us.
All right, let's start with a question. What
Well,
was your
hold on.
favorite part of part 3? A lot happens.
A lot.
I think that has to be a quick question, right? And then we'll take a little break because we have a hard stop today. Is that right?
Oh, we do
Oh,
have
we
a
do have a hard
stop.
stop.
Yeah. So I want
I
to
have a
just
hard stop, but
everybody.
you guys can carry on.
No,
do
no,
like
we're a
I like
team.
this. Let's do like a quick last round, and then we'll like pick up the real discussion on like the plot points next time. Favorite part. Who's got
Okay.
one?
So we have now been forced by necessity to split this part into 2.
Favorite part. It's hard. There's so many good parts. I actually did. I mean, this is not my favorite part, but I just want to comment that I did like when what's her name from the Jackal was like, I don't speak to dead people.
Oh,
They were
Lilith.
just
I don't speak to
Lilith.
dead boys.
Yeah, because they were just
Yeah.
so sure that Darrow was gonna get killed. What was my favorite part? I don't know. Somebody else go while I think through.
I mean, it's got to be the howlers, the howlers and the horses and taking over Minerva. That's like quintessential. The first moment we have the howlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked Pax's duel actually. Pax and Darrow's duel. I thought that
Mhm.
was like, I don't know. It was brutal, but like also very cute of them.
Yeah, which is also encompassed in that. Like that's an
That's true.
awesome scene for
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I have to agree that that's the peak of the whole third part, and it's just such a like great read, just back and forth. Although I like all the Fitchner stuff on the reread, which I didn't care
Mhm.
about at all on the first read,
Yeah.
but now that I'm rereading it, I really like those parts.
Yeah,
It's so
'cause
much more
Fitchner
interesting.
confirmed that Titus was a red, right? Did Fitchner confirm that?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he does. 'Cause
Later.
He
he
does?
In
later,
this
yes,
part?
but it
Oh,
is Fitchner.
later. Okay, not in this part. Okay.
Yeah, because he's the one who gives us the never
That's
tie
a
two boats
spoiler.
together in a storm.
Spoiler.
Well, for book
Whoa.
one, I think he tells you in book one.
I think it is in book
Mm-mm.
one. It's
No
while
way.
they're
It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
no,
We're
it's-
spoiling through book 3, guys. We've
Yeah,
already
whatever.
said it.
It's either
feels
book
like
one
it
or book two,
matters.
clearly, because
We
Fitchner's dead
can't
in
be
book three.
held accountable for
'Cause
what's
I-
in one
yeah.
part of one book,
I
let
would just like to
alone.
note that I did not spoil that.
But I feel, because for some reason, I feel like I remember it while they were still in the academy that he confirms it to him. But maybe not. Okay.
No, I think not. I think book 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Spoiler.
3.
Craig,
one-
did you already say your favorite part?
No, my favorite part is Cassius and Darrow while they're like floating in the lock.
Yeah.
And Severo comes, right? So we get sort of the core trio connecting for the first time, and we see Severo is like wants to be friends with Darrow, and that's really sweet to me. So I think we have a lot of like action moments, which is what Pierce is good at, and I think the quiet moments are where we get a lot of the character development, and that is my favorite.
I thought you were going to say the part where the bounty comes down because you said you liked that so much and it's
Oh,
so
I do
swashbuckling.
love that. It is very. I mean, like you can see it in your head.
Yeah.
You know.
Fall right out of the sky.
It's so fun. Yeah, that is really fun.
And they're very like old timey, like, oh my good man.
Yeah. Also, just the proctors like watching them and eating and just like as if they're not there. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, these kids are like starving and about to kill themselves, but you gorge and shit.
Not to
talk
mention the
them.
stuff that happens in House Mar. Like, it's truly gross and
It's awful.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that adults are watching it is just makes it so
Yeah.
much grosser.
Yeah, because Titus and his, what was that person? His like next in command were just,
Vixus.
yeah,
Mhm.
insane. Yeah, that was.
And that's where in,
Okay.
in our botched episode there, the question came up.
That no one shall ever hear.
No.
of, like how did Titus end up the way he was? If he had a partner, if he had a friend, would he have avoided that? And I think the closest thing he had to a friend was Vixus. And we find out Vixus is just like
It's just
surviving.
brutal.
Yeah, in his
Gum.
way.
We can
Yeah.
do a whole 2 hours on Titus.
Oh,
But
yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
we do save it because there's a lot to be said on that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This 15-minute episode is gonna be clutch.
I think we just pop this onto the front of our next episode. They're not separate.
Yeah.
I think so. You're right.
We just,
yeah,
like-
let's do that.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a break, get a cup of coffee, and we'll we will have a
And we'll
whole
come
week.
back with
And we'll-
different clothes.
We have soiled ourselves due to our fight.
I'll be wearing the same clothes.
For
I can
continuity,
wear the
everybody
same.
remember
Yeah,
what you're
just
wearing.
jacket.
That's so funny.
All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a nice week, and we'll get into the juice next week, and that gives us the full hour to just talk
Details.
philosophy, ideas, details. I
Yeah.
What do
kinda
you mean?
like
It's
that
just
this
going to be a
happened.
couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's right. See you in a minute.
All right, see you in a
Yeah.
minute.
All right, thanks all. Bye. We already did the summary, and we are picking back up for no odd reasons at all, in different outfits to continue the discussion. All right, I want to talk about Mars fracturing into tribes. So we've got Titus's crew, and we get to watch from Darrow's perspective, Titus sort of devolve into being a monster, right? And then later on in the book, we get another moment of Darrow being an observer and watching, sort of taking notes, I guess, on like the different ways that golds, quote unquote, golds interact with each other. Um, and they're all bad, you know? And so what's really fascinating to me is Darrow kind of gets a glimpse of what golds are willing to do to each other as opposed to just reds, you know, like lower colors. And it feels to me like this is a wake up moment for him.
Yeah, I think
As
this part is really doubles down on like how rough the society is for golds. Because you even not even
Yeah.
just what they're doing at the academy, but you hear a lot of like stories from the kids he's interacting with about like their histories and stuff.
Yeah. Because, right, like they have to hide their young ones so that they don't know who they are before the academy and are not like easily targeted, which I guess it's just like gold truly treat them like they kind of treat themselves like they treat the whole society, right? Because that's sort of what Fisher had said that like it's just like a microcosm of the entire society. So that was, I don't know, that was very, the academy or the institute is just very Hunger Game esque but like worse.
Yeah.
Because it's more personal. It's like they really get to know each other and then they still have to fight amongst themselves.
Yeah. Nick, how did you feel about that sort of Minerva has taken over Mars's castle. They've seen that Titus has become a monster and like what he's been doing to people. Oh, did we do a trigger? We do that at the beginning.
We can do that at the beginning. Make
Yeah,
sure it's
okay.
all
Trigger. And then we have this fight scene with Pax. The first of two, question mark?
we don't have to get into the sequence of events. I think
We don't.
that gets us off
was
track.
a great risk.
But there are two fights with Titus in this part. One a little more like less formal fight where they're kind of meeting and fight for the first time. And Pax is like
Yeah.
this big giant person, which is kind of why Darrow has to be the one to take him down. And then the second one is the more formal duel.
Right, which is great.
Right.
We love
Which
to
is
see.
great. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, Nick.
What were
What
you
are you
asking me?
asking Nick?
What your opinion was on the way that Darrow handles Pax and Titus, and that sort of those two large villain characters. Are they villains?
Well, I mean, at this point, yeah, right? At this point, kind of. And I think,
Right.
I guess some of his handling there also is some foreshadowing too. But I feel like it was great. I think this is the part we're getting into where really Red Rising really becomes Red Rising, right? It's oh, we're playing along, this is fun, and then here really steps up, and I loved it. I feel like that scene where he fights Pax the first time is probably up there of one of my favorite scenes, and I think it's Darrow at his best. I think he gets
The first
gets
fight?
kind of like too big for his britches a little bit later, and here it's like, yeah, you are in the zone.
Well, he doesn't really know how to fight, right? Like we have those moments where Cassius is before he's stabbed in the stomach by Cassius. Spoiler alert. Where he's learning cravat, you know, and he's like, no longer do I just throw my fists in directions. And so he's like, this whole first book is him learning tactics, TACTICS, and like how to fight.
This book is so confusing.
Titus, tactics,
Yeah.
tactics, yeah. But he's not good with a razor, right? And he's just using his rage, his famous rage, to like get through most everything.
I was
All right. Sorry, go ahead, Liz.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like that the fact that like Cassius was training him in cravat and like got to see that he's like untrained, right? I don't know why I thought that I didn't understand why that didn't feed into his thought of like, okay, well, how else will he have killed Julian? Because he clearly is just unsophisticated. There's like no other way that that fight would have gone outside of him letting Julian kill him. So I was surprised that like, well, I guess, you know, for story building, they couldn't do it. But I was surprised that Cassius wasn't more cognizant of that and that like, okay, you truly are just a brute.
Well, I feel like some of this is, see, his whole hatred of Darrow, spoiler, getting ahead of ourselves here. I guess this might be better served for part 4. I don't know where we're cutting off here, but I feel like some of this serves to show later the dueling side of Cassius. I don't think he really knows why he hates Darrow. I think it's just this family honor that, oh, you killed my brother and you did it in a way that we think is dishonorable. And I think over time, he starts to realize that's not really who he is, maybe.
Oof.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I want to make sure that we like really talk about Titus, because this is our last chance.
This is, because he
Yes.
never
this is
appears
the
again.
chance, to
Yeah.
talk about Titus.
Yeah.
Well, he comes up in combo.
And all things
Yeah,
Titus.
he does get a mention in book 2,
Book 2, which we can't wait for.
which we cannot wait for.
Yeah. So I want to just like dive into him too. I noted, like, I love just foreshadowing for Titus, which is like so obvious in retrospect. But when y'all read this for the first time, did you know what the Titus twist was going to be? Did you see
Absolutely
it coming?
not.
No.
No. And yet, like on second, and I know you guys are on like third and fourth. Do you feel like they're very obvious hints that are being dropped?
No.
The
if you know
second
what you're
time,
looking
I
for?
completely forgot. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's a red.
No, because he
don't think
behaves
I-
so
Yeah.
similarly to Golds. He's just
Yeah.
like a brute.
I marked a lot of the foreshadowing. And I mean, one is like Darrow first notices him, calls him like this big dude, shakes his hand, and is like, that hand is strong.
The
like
hand of a hell diver.
a hell diver. Yeah. And then later on,
yeah.
he notices that Titus, he says, like, Titus forgot to be 7 or 18 like the rest of us. He's a man. Which
That's
I think
true.
is
That's a good
so
point.
lovely, because that's what I love about the Darrow point of view.
Yeah.
Those were just 2 that I specifically wrote down. But yeah, I just think on the second read, you're like,
Wait,
oh shit, he
Can I-
kind of laid it out for us. It's pretty
can
blatant
I ask, do you
foreshadowing.
know at that part,
Yeah.
what does Titus do that Darrow says makes him a man? Because that's...
Oh, he's just standing
he was
apart from the
strategizing,
Okay, so
children,
it's
right?
not like the raping.
Like immediately after the
Just
passage. No.
Yeah.
No, not that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have it here. Everything he says is perfectly innocuous, yet I hate him. It's like he doesn't think me human, instead just a chess piece he's waiting to move around. No, shove around. He somehow forgot to be 17 or 18 like the rest. He's a man, taller than 2 meters, easy, maybe nearing 2.5 meters. Lithe Roque, on the other hand, reminds me so much of my brother Kieran. So he's just like going through, he's like doing a little bop around the room of like who he likes and who he doesn't like.
Is Roque a red?
No,
Just
what?
kidding. Just
No.
kidding.
He's the goldest gold that ever
Reminds
golded.
us of
It-
Kieran.
You know what? He is. And like there was the part where when they were all in the institute, there was something that Gold had made like a joke of like, oh, yeah, I would rather be a politician and send people to die for me than like actually be in the fight. And
Yeah.
I was like, you were so Gold. How did I miss that? Like when I was first reading this.
My gosh, I have so many notes on Roque. Like, why did I like this guy so much?
I like
I
Roque.
know.
Well, can we wait? We gotta focus on Titus,
Titus,
because Roque
Titus,
gets his
Titus.
day. We will
Yeah.
talk about Roque
Mhm.
continually for the
Yes.
next
Yeah.
3 books.
Yeah, I think we brought this up in failed episode prior.
First time we
we've
episode.
The
just
what
been
if
recording this
Titus
whole
had a
time.
friend?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, good point. We did a quick outfit change. What if Titus had a friend?
Oh yeah, let's open this up.
Mhm.
I just, and even zooming back further, like just Titus and Darrow, like they're different paths. Liz brought that up in like the first episode of like how they're kind of on similar paths and then they diverge. So this is just so interesting to me.
Is Titus capable of having friends though? Like it
Yeah.
just, I don't, because even if him and Darrow had gotten close, which I don't see that happening because like they have the similarities, but again, like Darrow's all about, you know, forgiveness and he's like loyal to his friends, but Titus is just, but knowing what we know of why he is there, it makes
But see,
sense.
this I like that a lot, and I think that's probably fair. But this brings up a question I have of what was Titus like as a red? Like, did he have friends as a red? Was he a complete monster as a
Yeah.
red, or is it just he?
No,
No, it just,
What-
I don't think so. I think it was a normal dude, and then something
Did they
happened to
say
his
that?
partner.
Oh wait,
I
did
don't
they?
remember
Remember?
this. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah, he has a monologue at the end where he's talking to
Oh
Darrow
yes,
in the,
yes.
and he's like,
Mhm.
"They took her, right?"
Yep.
yeah.
And so he killed whoever, the Greys or the Golds,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that did that.
And so
I think he could. I think there's a period of time, and he mentions it. Titus says to Darrow, "We're not the same. You made friends." Right?
Yes.
I think Titus could have made friends and chose
Yeah,
not
I feel like there's
to,
some
right?
judgment in that comment. Like, you made friends with these people,
for
and
sure.
I refuse. And so,
Right.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's, I think that's a great point. Like, he was never going to have a friend.
I think that's the key
It's-
difference is Titus has so much hate and disgust for the Golds, and
Yeah.
Darrow's able to capture empathy for them, which he mentions multiple times. And I think without that, there's no way you can become a leader.
Yeah.
Like, whether that's good or bad, that he has empathy for the Golds, it makes him effective as being someone who can, like, win their hearts and lead
And
them.
I feel like on that
True.
note, he says it multiple times throughout the trilogy about how all of what he's working for will fail if gold can't change. And so he's working with that assumption that you have to start with that axiom that gold is able to change. How do we get there? And Titus is just like, nah, let's kill them all. Yeah.
He's
Burn
not
it to the
willing.
ground.
It's interesting though that he talks to Darrow like also as I guess because Darrow's comes in as an outsider as well because he's from a different planet, right? Like, but I was just like, why isn't he talking to him as another gold? Like, oh, why is it like you chose to have friends with them when like all of them could have been friends with people? But it
That did
seemed
feel
very
weird.
much like it's almost like he knew more about Darrow than
Yeah.
like
That's
he was
I don't
letting
remember.
on.
Did he actually know about Darrow?
I don't think so.
No.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
No, we were worried. Actually, it comes up in part 4 after Fitchner makes clear to Darrow that the proctors, are watching the kids through their rings. And Darrow thinks to himself, oh no, did I let something slip when I was talking to Titus?
Mhm.
Yeah. So no, I think not.
Wow,
Yeah.
then is Titus
Titus
just
was-
also a total idiot? Like, I don't remember why he decided to tell Darrow all of this stuff if he thought he was a gold.
He didn't give himself away except for saying bloody
Mm.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay, and and Darrow
So it would
put
have just been like
yeah.
raving to any
Mhm,
Gold.
and Darrow put the
Right.
pieces together.
It's-
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like,
Mhm.
Titus is a red.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
all right.
that's such a
'cause
moment.
He did say,
Oh,
yeah.
it is a moment. Yeah, and Darrow stumbles from the room, and Titus is like, Darrow?
Yeah.
What did I say? You know?
Yeah, and
Because sorry, I was just gonna say, like, as a gold though, like, I guess was he saying it that like they came to his town and took his partner and like, trigger, like raped her and like all of that as a gold? Like he's like, oh, the golds did this to their own?
I think it's unclear, purposefully unclear.
Yeah. Okay.
They, the society.
Right. Okay.
I read it as, I don't think he killed a gold. That feels unlikely.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. All right. I will not harp on that because now my brain is like, nah, well.
All right, betrayal. Oh, Sam, did you have something else about Titus?
only that there's a good line of Darrow putting Mustang in her place a little bit when she's holding the Mars castle,
Mhm.
absolutely and rightfully disgusted with what Titus has been up to in there. And he asks that if Titus raped a little girl that happened to be red, how would you feel? Look around. There are no golds here. I'm a red. You're a red. We're all red until one of us gets enough power. Then we get rights. Then we make our own law. That's the point of all this. To make you terrified of a world where you do not rule. Security and justice aren't given. They're made by the strong. Which just feels like a very good summary for this whole part, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
that's that's the thesis statement that they're trying to get across, right?
Wait, Sam, and read the quote right after that where she's like, I hope that isn't true, because there's another boy here. Oh, you don't have your book open to page 200
213. 213. I was reading it from that one was so important that I was like, that one goes in the notes app. But look, I have it right here.
Yeah,
213.
where
She said, you should hope that's not true. Mustang says quietly to me, why? And then she says, because there's a boy here like you.
Mm.
Her face takes on a gloomy aspect as though she regrets what she might say. My proctor calls him the jackal. He's smarter and crueler and stronger than you, and he will win the game and make us his slaves. So the rest of us go about acting like animals. So please hurry up and evolve.
Evolve.
Yeah.
How do you have this thing memorized, dude?
I know.
Only
How
parts
did you
of
know
it.
the exact page?
Only parts of it. I thought that's such a good quote, right? They have this weird argument where she's like,
It's so backwards.
it is so bad. She's like, justice, kill, Titus deserves to die for what he's done. And Darrow making a power stand is like, he's Mars. We will handle him. Roque speaks up and is like, he'll get his justice. And Darrow tells Roque to shut up.
Right.
Which is like this
yeah.
really interesting moment.
Yeah.
Or just like owning his power.
Yeah.
Like, I am
Yeah.
the leader.
And,
Yeah. And her just like being on the side of evolution when he's pointing out that she's on the very puny side of it.
Yeah.
Like she's holding up the thing that's not evolved.
Right.
And a lot of the gold argument is how messy democracy is. And this is just like we're watching how messy it is to have society in place, like how disgusting and ruthless it is. I mean, this is what happened on like a global scale. So that's pretty rough
And
rough. Continues to happen. So it's not less bloody than democracy. It's just maybe less bureaucratic, which bureaucracy sucks. I mean, who likes red tape? Not me.
Not I.
I just also love that quote going back in hindsight and knowing that she's talking about her brother too. And yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't, jumping forward, Nick, on that topic, right? Darrow gets stabbed in the stomach. There's a lot more I want to talk about.
I'm sure we'll
in
come
part
back
3.
to it, but we've been itching to get here.
But Darrow gets stabbed in the stomach. He and Mustang, she doesn't make him a slave. Why in those moments wouldn't she say, the Jackal's my brother? Like, I don't see does her revelation about like something is more important than family happen only at the end when he saves her in Olympus?
I think it's
when Darrow saves her.
Kind of like in which one is it? Morningstar, where she's basically testing him again, and she's like, "I needed to know if you were someone I could follow," and I think it might be a little bit of that. It also might be a little bit of thinking you might need this person on your side, and if this person finds out that the big baddie is actually your brother, are they really going to be on your side?
The point that she helped him, though, did she know that the Jackal was her brother? I thought it was only, she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we discussing part 4?
Yeah, well, we started.
Sam, you opened this door when you read that quote.
Wait, should we do part 3? The betrayals in part 3.
Yeah,
the betrayals in part 3. I think
We
are
should
worth...
do part 3. That's what this episode is.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So after they have this fight, and then what? Darrow lets Cassius deal Darrow was going to take. Yeah, Darrow was going to take matters of Titus in his hands. But
we're
need
in our own heads about this
meme
now.
That's like all the mathematical equations in the
we
background.
never had this problem until
Titus and Cactus.
Yeah, it was
we won't
never
have
a problem.
Titus again. So
No,
it's
that's true.
It's not an issue.
Yeah, but then Cassius begs him and is like, "No, let me do this," and he allows him, which, as we know, was a mistake.
Huge mistake.
Yeah, massive
Tactic error.
Why?
Would someone like to talk about the implications of that?
I mean, Roque summarizes it.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
write
the
it in my
quote
notes,
is on
so-
page 225. And he says something along the lines of, you've succeeded in nothing except now Cassius is feared again.
Yeah, he's no longer being laughed at for being peed on.
Right.
But I think, it just shifts the power, right? Because everybody's like, well, and Darrow, I think even himself beats himself up, and he's like, as the leader, I should have doled out the justice, but having deferred, having given it to someone else and they do it. And the way that Cassius did it too was very brutal, and also the fact that he was thinking that Titus killed his brother. So Darrow kind of just wimped out with that and didn't hold his own and didn't stand in his power, for lack of better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
really
we get
don't
this-
like this part.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like Nick agrees, and Nick is good at explaining things on my behalf, even when I don't know what I like and dislike.
No, try.
But so maybe you can take a stab at it, Nick. But I just feel like this scene is kind of dumb. I think it's weak as a dynamic device, but I mean, I see structurally how cause and effect led one to the other. So, and Lord knows I couldn't do it better, but I don't know. This feels a little Game of Thrones to me. It feels like, nah, I don't like this at
Yeah,
all.
I
Nick,
also
what's
I
your
feel
thoughts on this
like
part?
I understand why. I guess I understand why it's a mistake, but at the same time, it feels kind of like it's a forced mistake, and not in the sense that someone forced him to do it. Just it also could very easily not be a mistake. I mean, everyone knows Darrow is the one who decided that Titus needed to die. Why did it matter which of them killed him?
Yeah, it feels like a mistake because
Yeah,
the book told
exactly.
us it was a mistake. I don't
Yeah.
feel in my heart that this was what other choice?
Yeah.
It's two choices. They're both kind of bad.
No, I think it's the if if Darrow had given the responsibility of killing Titus to Cassius, and then Cassius had not played around and just immediately stabbed Titus through the heart.
But that's not
Justice.
Darrow's mistake.
But
Yeah, Darrow is supposed to
And-
know that
I
like Cassius was gonna toy with him. And it definitely, I get
Right.
the like, it wasn't justice, it was revenge. I get that aspect of this. But as a scene, it's just not my favorite. Doesn't
I
hit.
guess that's part of why
For me, it
Oberyn is
doesn't
dead in Game of Thrones. I guess that's part of
Huh?
why Oberyn dies in Game of Thrones, right? It's not justice. He's there for revenge.
And that's the first, I guess that's why
Mhm.
I have such a strong, I mean, that's literally the first chapter of Game of Thrones is
Yeah,
Ned Stark being like, you have to swing the sword yourself. Don't do a good Ned Stark. That sounded more like Littlefinger. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah.
So
that is more Littlefinger.
Yeah, my bad.
bringing it back around, like the other reason I'm like I don't see this as a mistake is if it weren't for the Deus Ex Machina that is the Proctors. I mean, which by the way, great Deus Ex Machina. Like that is literally what they are. um,
Yeah, they just pop
Yeah.
in to give important
But
stuff
if
and
it
important
weren't
information
for
right when you
them
need it.
giving the like that hollow cube to the Jackal, who then gives it to Cassius. I mean, it
We should
right.
discuss.
That's the next part, though. I believe. Is it?
No, that's
yeah.
in part
That's
3.
how he ends up.
Lilith.
Yeah.
Lilith.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I
the
guess we can talk
discovery-
about all of this then. But if it weren't for that moment, I mean, one could argue that Darrow making this choice is solidifying his one power dynamic because he's still the one who does it, and two, this relationship with Cassius. He needs to find a way to get around the fact that Cassius is duty bound to honor Julian, and it's a solid gambit.
Yeah, it didn't really work.
Yeah,
Didn't
but
really
I
pay
mean,
off for him.
I don't blame him. I don't think it's a mistake. I think it was
Yeah,
given
the
the
choice he
information he had. I think it was the right move.
He also
Well, how
didn't
about-
want to kill a Red.
Yeah,
Should we
that's fair.
just say, like, once he found out, like, what the circumstances were, that was really hard. That's kind of a lot to ask a 16-year-old.
Well, he was ready to though until Cassius asked him to let him do it. So like I think that's part of it, right? Is that like he should have just decided like, okay, Cassius will do it or I will do it, not wait for Cassius to beg him to do it. And I think then like everybody in the house is now looking like, okay, so does justice just happen because like if we ask, like if somebody offends me and I go to Dara and I beg him, will he let me dole that out or
Yeah.
not? And I think from my perspective, that's sort of where it was a mistake in that like it created not like a defined leadership, but more of a I guess democracy, which I guess is
I-
kind of what
I'm feeling like it's a flaw of having a hierarchy like that, of like autocracy, because one person's like will can be bent by somebody else coercing them. Whereas like in a more structured system, there would be like, you know, more
like
shared
process
governance. Yeah.
Yeah.
An SOP.
SOP.
Betrayal.
Hang on 1 second. I want to jump
Good.
off, riff off this point real quick because you mentioned he doesn't want to kill a Red, and I do also think that is great storytelling. Even just looking at, I think Darrow only kills 2 people in this book. Julian, he's forced to, and then is it Apollo? Which Proctor that he stabs in the sky? And
Dr. Apollo.
I feel
Yeah.
like the fact that those are the only, I might be wrong, but the fact that those are the only 2
Yeah, we'll have to fact check
people
that.
he kills,
I think
I
that's
think
right.
is a really great, it's one, the dichotomy between them, and 2, the point A to point B. And I feel like
Yeah.
if he had been the one to kill Titus, there's a little bit of an arc there that kind of gets thrown off a bit.
We talked about this in the last episode where like to kill, well, I said this, so you all might not have agreed.
What a great quote.
To quote myself, to kill Julian, he kind of had to go into a separate place. And in future books, he just slaughters masses, I feel. Maybe
And-
I'll reread and you guys can correct me on that. But like, that place has not taken
Yeah.
over yet. Like, he went into that place and then he left that place. And then he'll go into that
Exactly,
place again.
and
at
I
the
think
end.
that is such a turn, right? That is such, not necessarily a turn, we see it coming the whole time, right? But it's such a point of emphasis in Darrow's life that it's, oh, when he kills that Proctor, this is where the Reaper comes out for real. And I also
Right.
think
And spoiler, Iron Rain is
Oh, yeah.
probably where we see like the big, like that
And I
final
love that
transformation.
they're probably in a
Bad.
similar point in both books too. But the one last thing I wanted to say about this is I'm doubling down on it not being a mistake, the having Cassius kill Titus. I think it is only that Gold thinks it's a mistake. Gold definitely thinks it's a mistake. That doesn't mean it's a mistake. It just means that they think it's a mistake in the way they run the world, and that's what we're seeing is that is we're trying to overthrow that hierarchy.
Who runs the world?
Gold. I thought the same thing when he said that. Trying to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah,
Couldn't.
well, girls, Octavia.
Gold.
All right, there was something I wanted to say. To your point, Nick, we have this moment. Now we're getting into part 4. Are we allowed, Sam?
No.
Wait,
I mean,
which moment?
I'm saying, I'm not worried about spoilers. I'm saying let's not discuss part 4 until the part 4 episode. That seems like basic math.
But
to
isn't
me.
it also
You're right.
basic advertising that you leave some
Oh yeah, all right, drop a little something. Drop
Tune
a
in
little
next
something.
week.
Future us, worth discussing the moment when Mustang has saved Darrow. Mustang becomes sick. Darrow leaves camp, comes back to find 2
deserters.
people.
Savages?
Yeah, deserters, thank you. In camp, considering doing things to Mustang. Darrow shoots them with arrows. Mustang says, don't kill them. Darrow gets up later at night to go kill them. And Mustang is like, no, don't do it, right? Which is a theme that sort of continues throughout the whole series. Without Mustang around, who does Darrow become?
Also, I'm going to take this to add a little bit to this because I think you're adding to my point.
Should I mark this section?
For what?
It's good.
For what
Because
purpose?
it's good discussion.
We'll cut it out of here and put it in part 4.
No. It's still here.
Sure.
It's still here because part of the reason it's still in this part because part of the reason I think Darrow can have that arc from Julian to Apollo or whatever Proctor he kills. It's Apollo. From Julian to Apollo without killing anyone in between is because of other people. Because of Mustang stopping him there, because of Cassius offering to kill Titus. Because if Cassius isn't around, Darrow's going to have to kill Titus.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, do you think it's a consistent driver? I mean, I think what Craig was getting at was that there's like a morality that Mustang brings out in Darrow, but in the like Cassius sense, was he scared to kill Titus? Like, was it fear? Is it the same thing across the board, or is it just like a theme that pops up?
I mean, morality
kinda
by a
loose?
different name. I don't think he's necessarily scared to kill Titus, but I think he doesn't want to. Yeah, and it's not the same morality as Mustang is showing, right? It's not the it's the I don't even know, but it's definitely Cassius stepping in and saying, "Oh, I'll do it." Because I want to. Let me do it.
And Darrow's looking for any excuse because he just in every instance doesn't want to do it.
That's interesting.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think
Every's
Darrow's
a loaded word.
Happy to do it.
You think he's happy to do it? Well, we're
I
gonna
think
have to wait
Titus,
until part
he was-
4.
Oh
Yeah, you're right. All right, can we talk about betrayal in part 3?
Oh my gosh, you were so excited
We
to
have,
talk
like-
about betrayal.
we have-
Betrayal.
We have
It's
to
a whole...
don't skip the first one. Like there's like a domino effect of betrayal here.
There's a domino
you want to
effect.
skip
No.
right to Cassius.
Okay, good.
But,
I don't.
Good.
okay, then go ahead. Then
All right.
move forward.
Diana.
Ah.
House Diana. Betrayal. They help Mars or take the castle, Minerva, and then they try to stay in the castle. Right? Tactus then betrays whatever the name is of the lead
Tamra.
Diana person. Liz with the memory.
Wait, what was it?
Cuts her
Oh, that's
saddle
right.
Tamra?
and then like tramples over her with a horse. Kills her.
yeah. Ugh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that was wild.
Ugh.
Tactus.
Why did
Then-
you do that? Oh,
Because he's a dick.
I think he's just vindictive.
He's
Yeah.
a monster.
Yeah, he likes to watch the world burn.
Yeah, and
Well,
we need to
actually
be scared
interesting.
of him by the time the part ends. We need to know like
I don't-
Tactus.
I don't want to
It's
get into
kinda wild.
spoilers because
Yeah.
I just started the second trilogy and this
Oh.
does. I know
wait,
I
you
can't. Mark
Let
it
me mark
for
it.
sure because I think a lot of it we're told repeatedly. A lot of the reason Tactus is the way he is because of his family. Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah.
yeah. We're told
Definitely.
that in the first trilogy too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well
I
there's a
remember
lot of
any of
anyway.
that.
Betrayal.
betrayal. So then we have in very quick succession who's Roque's girlfriend.
Leah?
Quinn.
It's Leah at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Leah. So Antonia betrays Mars, gets Leah to get Darrow out of the castle, and then we have that moment of betrayal, right?
I do
Roque
have a
disappears.
question, though. Because was it Leah or Quinn? Because, like, Roque came to Darrow and said, I want to make out with Quinn.
Yeah.
Cassius wants to make
and
out with
Quinn is Quinn.
And so does Severo.
Yeah, so is Severo.
Oh, that's
Wow.
a spoiler.
He brings her little treats.
Some of this
I
is
thought that was
also
cute.
book 2.
It is.
This
cute.
gets like the relationship with Quinn
Yeah,
definitely
because-
gets
yeah.
explored more in book 2.
It's like
Okay.
Mhm.
I won't hold us up.
No, it's a good point.
it's like that show. Gosh, what's that one where they're in high school? It's from the 80s. Everybody loved it.
High School
Degrassi.
Musical.
No.
No, even
One Tree
older.
Hill?
God, this
Oh.
is a tangent now. I thought it would come to me as I said it, and it didn't.
Saved
No,
by the
it's
Bell.
very popular. Mario Lopez was in it.
Is it
by
really?
the
That
Bell.
was
It's
just
like-
a
yeah.
shot in the
Yeah.
dark because of.
It is. Golden Sun is like Saved by the Bell, like went to college. Didn't they do a couple of those? So like it's sort of same shit, different age and year. So we see some of this repeat.
Because at the end, they're still like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're not like they're like teenagers still.
Anyway, continue with your betrayal.
Well, so betrayal, and then immediately after another betrayal, which is finally Cassius saying, "They found Roque, come with me," you know, and Darrow realizing on the way out to the moor or wherever they're headed that this is somehow
Whoopsie.
Cassius has figured out that he killed Julian.
Okay,
Darrow
so
killed Julian.
sticking with that first betrayal a bit, and also recognizing this is further along in the first trilogy, I feel like that one is so important, the Leah and Antonia killing Leah, because it drives so much of the conflict with Victra, right? It leads to, I think that action, and like, I feel like, yeah, Antonia is never going to be a good guy, right? We know that, but I feel like that betrayal is what drives Darrow to not be able to fully trust Victra later on.
Yeah, for a
Mhm,
really
yeah.
long time.
And I feel like
Yeah.
that's just well done.
Can y'all remind me where my favorite character Victor is
We
right
don't
now?
see her.
She's older. She's like
She's older.
7 years
Yeah.
older. So
Okay.
we meet
Oh,
her in
is
book
she
Already done.
2.
really? I didn't
Yeah.
realize she was that much older.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
thank
meet
you.
her at the
Academy?
Institute.
I always get them confused. Yeah.
Oh, right.
This is the
Yeah.
institute.
Yeah.
We're in the institute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay, thank you.
Now, Craig, you can dive in.
And also, there is like
Oh.
a crucial moment where he decides, Darrow, not to come out and
Yeah.
save Leah, and she gets her throat slit, and that's just
Well,
a
he-
tough scene.
Do we ever find out?
Yeah.
I mean, he would have been killed. That was the point,
He
right?
would have been
But,
killed.
Yeah, I'm not blaming him. I'm
He's
just saying,
I
like,
need
Yeah.
to live for more.
yeah.
Yeah. My life is more important than one.
No.
Gold.
Do we? I don't remember. Do we find out where Roque is when this is going on?
That's what I was thinking.
No.
That I don't think we do.
Not until literally the last 10 pages of the book. When this is a part 4. Can we talk about part 4, Sam?
Okay, go ahead.
Darrow has gone to Olympus, defeated Olympus, has the realization that potentially there's a problem on the horizon with Mustang and the Jackal. He flies down. This is in the span of like 5 pages. He flies down on grab boots with the Howlers, all of whom have like real armor on, and they take over House Mars. And in that moment, this tiny, dirty guy runs up and like hugs Darrow around the ankles. And
But
that's
like,
Roque.
what happened to him?
Yeah,
We
was
don't
he
know.
being kept?
And
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
You
think
guys better hope we have something to talk about in part 4.
it's...
That's all I gotta say.
There's a
But
lot.
I
that
mean,
happens in
it's-
part 4.
so it's the disappearance of
Can't wait
Roque
to get to part
that
4.
gives Cassius the ability to betray Darrow, right? And that's where I'm like, do we know, was Cassius involved in Leah being killed? I don't think he was, but
No.
if it weren't
Mm-mm.
for, if it
He was
were
gone.
not for,
Yeah.
That's
if
right.
it were not
Good point.
for this betrayal, Leah being killed, Roque disappearing somewhere, I mean, I guess Cassius probably would have found another way, but that plan wouldn't have worked.
That
yeah.
made it easier for sure. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm Cassius, I'm thinking, oh, he's not going to fall for that again.
Yeah,
I
right.
wouldn't even have tried it.
Yeah. But I
Thank
guess
God he
because
did.
he was just like, oh, because I was like, oh, Cassius didn't watch it till that night. And then he just like immediately reacted. So I don't even know that he would have thought of any other plan than like, well, he trusts me like a brother. I'm going to tell him that I found
Yeah.
Roque and he's going to
I guess he could have
believe it. But
said,
that was-
another house is at our port, or come up with some other lie.
Mm-hmm.
on the topic of betrayal, do we think at the very beginning after the passage that if Darrow had been like, hey, I'm so sorry, Julian was in the room with me, I had to kill him. Because Darrow's doing a lot of his own betrayal, right? He asks Severo to steal the thing from Cassius, a little hollow cube. That fails, right? Which is why Cassius looks. Do we think that would have changed anything?
That is an excellent question.
After meeting Cassius's mother, I don't know. I think so. I don't think it. I think I don't know. After meeting Cassius's mother, I don't know that it would have changed much because I feel like maybe then they would have just. But Fitchner wouldn't have allowed it. Actually, I'm like thinking out loud now, but because I'm like, well, his mother is very much like gung ho revenge, but Fitchner, I don't think would have let. Right, like them influence the game. So maybe it would have changed everything and they would have just been closer.
I don't know if they would have been closer.
Maybe they wouldn't have ever been friends to begin with.
Yeah, I think he would have tried to kill him, and Darrow wasn't a good fighter, so he might have been killed. I don't know that Darrow would have, or Fitchner would have prevented Darrow getting killed that early because, it would have been proof that he could.
This is another notch in the when Cassius gives him the whole, it's the way you killed him. That's a load of crap. And the part of the reason why we know it's a load of crap is because before he knew Darrow did it, he was willing to kill Titus just because he killed Julian. He didn't know how Titus killed Julian. He just knew that he thought that he did. So it's not the way he killed him.
Yeah.
It's this family honor.
Cassius is just a kid. We need to remember he's 17.
That frontal lobe is not fully developed.
Not fully developed until 23 or 27, or in my case, still working on it.
Still going.
Still trying. Yeah. So,
I think it's just like it's a big thing, right? Because they've just been like brothers this whole time they've been in the institute, and then to find out that was the actual person that killed your brother, and he's tried to hide his cries, but like Darrow is very aware of like his cries and stuff, and still just been like, oh yeah, brother, and it's like,
that's a pretty big betrayal. Theme of the episode, like your new bro killed your old bro. I'd be pretty mad about that.
Yeah.
And he hid it from you for literally so long, and you even talked about who do you think killed my brother?
I guess especially
it's hard to come back. It's like stealing your wallet and helping you look for it.
Yes. On a much lower
I feel
scale.
like that's also a conversation that comes up later in the series too. Like, spoiler, when they like reconcile and stuff in Morningstar, and Cassius is like, I know you had to do it. He doesn't, I don't know if he says he's sorry, but yeah, exactly.
Maturity.
But
we have that really interesting.
I wanted to come back to the original question here of like, would it change anything? And the other thing it would change is it would take away the Jackal's leverage, which that is an interesting thing to think about, I think, because what happens if there is like the video really won't do as much then because Cassius already knows. So
there is no leverage.
Right. Yeah, because the video wouldn't have been sent because the proctors would know that they talked about it.
Right.
I know that's a play they've run before. Like it has to be from the proctors.
Sure.
Like that's probably something they do every cycle.
Yeah.
We have that moment where I forget who initiates this, but it's Roque, Cassius, Darrow, and I think it's Cassius who takes them by the shoulders and is like,
"Yeah, you'll all be praetors,
core group."
Yeah, like we are. I don't mean it like we're truly brothers, which is why I think book 2. Can we talk about book 2? Book 2, where Roque does what Roque does. Is it book 2?
Each book ends with a different type of betrayal.
Oh, okay.
I guess maybe not Morningstar.
So interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I love Roque. I think Roque is.
I love him.
A thrown away. Well, I don't want to talk about book 2.
No, I'm not asking you to talk about book 2.
Just about Roque. Your love of Roque.
Well, he's gone.
In this part are you loving about
that he's not here?
Well, he was here for half of it.
He was here for half of it, and then he disappears. Roque feels to me kind of similar to, here's a hot take, to Titus, in that there's something missing. There's a key that is not unlocked, that Titus would have been better. Titus could have been a Darrow if he had friends. Roque, maybe, and I know this is controversial, I feel like Rogue could become a Mustang, not romantically. Rogue could become a Mustang in terms of like not being so beholden to the gold values if there was a key that was turned. I don't know what the key is for Rogue.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
we
On
feel
first
so
read,
close.
I was like all for Roke because I'm like, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
But then on second read, I'm like, no, he doesn't. He lays it out
Yeah.
from the first time you meet him. He has even like a little soliloquy about how much he
Mhm.
likes the hierarchy. And the first time I
Mhm.
read it, I just didn't give it any credence because I liked the
That
guy.
being said,
Yeah.
go
I
ahead, Liz.
don't think. Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't think Roke would have turned. I don't think there was any scenario in which Roke would have been at Virginia or like been. I think he's like, and I think it was Nick that has mentioned this in previous episodes where I think he just right, like he likes being a gold and he likes the benefits that come from being a gold, and I don't think that. I don't see where he would have changed that to not have those benefits and to not have that privilege. So I don't know that there's something that would have made him turn. I used to think that when I first
Yeah.
read it too. I was so all up on Rogue. I was like, oh my God, yeah. And then now I'm like, yeah, no. He's just rereading it with like the second set of
Knowing
eyes
the
and like
ending.
and seeing all the things. You're like, okay, no, he really truly like believes in this, and he like obviously is benefiting from it and doesn't want to lose
And
that. Yeah.
there's so many good points here, and this is why I love Rogue as a character and hate him as a person. And to that point, I love that we're left with that question, and I think either answer is acceptable. Because could he have changed? I don't know if Leah had lived, if Quinn had lived, if Tactus had lived. All these people that he ends up being close to end up dying in his mind because of Darrow. If any one of them hadn't have died, could he have changed? I still
Oh,
think
right, he
maybe
blamed
not.
Darrow.
And the reason I think maybe not is because I think Roke is gold, quintessential. Like if we were to say Titus is red and we see the red of Titus come out, same goes for Roke and gold. He is everything that makes gold gold, and I think he would never be able to forgive Darrow being a red.
Not to be a
Go for it. No, I
contrarian,
love it.
Go for it.
Hot take.
Augustus, Nero Augustus is quintessential gold to me. There are no redeeming features for
And I
Nero.
love this.
I think
love
Nero
this.
has these. Nero has this great moment at the end of book 2 where, and we've discussed this, I think, in the spoiler episode, where he has a soliloquy about reds and silvers and grays and blues and their capability, and then he doubles down on why it is that gold needs to be gold and lead and be the shepherds. I think Nero is the quintessential gold character about having this delusion that by being at the top of the pyramid, they can be the shepherds. And so anything that they do in order to maintain that is the reason. Roke, though, has this odd, he is the poet. And we see it so many times where like there's goodness in him and kindness and willingness to forgive until there isn't any willingness to forgive.
Coming back to the point that actually makes sense in this book and this trilogy, I think for those very reasons, Craig, that is why Roke is the quintessential gold and Nero isn't. Because quintessentially, gold should have no flaws. And Nero very clearly has a flaw of overconfidence, of we are made to shepherd. And I think Roke is more of a, oh no, we're shepherds because we've earned it and we will continue to earn it and we'll always be better. And I mean, maybe it's two sides of the same coin there, but I think there are flaws with there are parts of Nero that, yes, you could say, yeah, that's definitely gold because of the arrogance of it. But at the same point, that is what gold has become, whereas Roke is more of what gold was supposed to be.
Beautiful.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Roke the poet.
I think that since you bring it up, Nero Augustus is a not fully fleshed out character. He's a true villain. Like you don't see any sides to him except villainy. So I think he and Roke are probably similar in the sense that everybody
That's not
is
true.
muddy in real life.
Mustang loves her dad. For
I'm
all
gonna
those
have
moments,
to revisit those pieces.
she like tells stories about him taking her riding and teaching her how
I
to.
feel like
Oh, maybe the Telemanus family.
I feel like
I guess
she loves.
yeah, it was, and
Well, I feel like she lost her dad before her older brother
Oh,
died.
no. And her
Yeah.
mother.
Oh, well, that's its own
Yeah,
topic.
didn't he
Like,
Yeah.
torture her mother?
Well,
Wasn't he?
no, her mother
No.
committed suicide.
Committed
Trigger.
suicide.
Because
Trigger.
wasn't it because Nero was such a terrible person to
Yes.
live around?
I
Yeah,
thought
okay.
so. Yeah.
It's not the impression that I got.
Well,
I
I've only
wish there
read
was
it once,
more.
so
Pierce, come on
Yeah.
the podcast.
we'll get to it when we get to it.
Well,
That'll
yeah,
come
and
up
I'll also
someday.
reread it. Yeah, because I thought it was because of that. She was just like unhappy. He was like
Yeah.
barely available. Like he was just a terrible husband. That was
Yeah.
the impression I got. But I don't know. I think I'm on this third reread. I am on the side that I mean, I guess if the deaths had not happened, maybe Roque would have changed. But I think he's fully gold and just is on the path that like gold should rule. And yeah,
I think he would have
likes
found
it.
another reason because I don't think there was any forgiving
Yeah.
Darrow being a red in his mind.
Yes.
I think he can say it's Quinn, he can say it's Leah, he can say it's Tactus, but deep down it's because Darrow's a red.
Speaking of people being red, can we pivot?
Maybe.
To
Is it in
something?
part
Yeah,
3
let's pivot.
or
Stay on
are
this
you
one.
breaking your own rule?
It's in part
Okay.
3. You know it is
Okay.
because I'm bringing it up, and I can't remember anything past part 3. So just as Darrow kind of was picking up a little bit on Titus being a red, but not knowing that he actually mentions full on that he thinks Severo is a red. Or he like wonders if Severo is a
Yeah.
red. And I thought that was so
Yeah.
fun and
Oh.
interesting.
That is
Yeah.
fun.
Foreshadowing.
And I like,
Yeah.
and I loved Severo on
Mhm.
first read. I love Severo on second read. Like, what a great showing for Severo in this part.
We have that moment where this is towards the end, just before all the betrayals. It might be immediately after the fall of House Diana. They're in the war room. Darrow's trying to say something. He makes a point of admitting that he has to stand up in order to get everybody to stop talking, and that shows how his power is weakening after Cassius kills Titus. And Severo comes up with a good idea. Cassius is then making fun of Severo for being a short, little, tiny person. Cassius is like, I'm better than you in looks. Well, should I go on? Or whatever his list is. And then Severo leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Do we recall that?
Yeah, because his strategy is go it alone. Just
Because he's
survive.
very much a lone wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a betrayal?
Severo leaving.
Of
Yeah.
Darrow
Of Darrow.
to Severo.
They know each other well enough yet for it to be.
But Severo saves Darrow and Cassius in the lock. That's part 2, question mark?
Yes. And
He doesn't
gives
have
him the standard.
to.
So,
And he gives him the
No,
standard.
that's part 3.
That's right.
That's yeah.
Oh, good.
That's part 3.
Because
yeah.
we're
I
from
thought we were
passage
part
to Cassius killing.
oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Anything-
allowed
So
to
it's
talk
part
about
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So part 3, Severo kind of comes into his own, and we don't quite understand why he's being loyal to Darrow. Actually, that continues in part 4, right? Like, why does Severo like Darrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we
Why?
ever really
I feel
get.
like
Yeah.
Is it because they have a unspoken, like, blood?
feel like there's a conversation.
Bond of some kind.
I don't think so. No,
I don't
there's
think
something
so.
else.
I think it
happening.
is.
Maybe I'm crazy, but
I
I,
don't
feel
think
like
so.
I remember there being a conversation where Severo kind of explains what he likes about Darrow in the first book. Am I crazy?
He does, but I don't
Neither do
remember
I.
what
I
it
just-
was because I was like, why does he like him so much? Why is there this like almost immediate loyalty to Darrow outside of all the other like Reds? And that's where I think like maybe it's the fact that Darrow came from another like planet, quote unquote.
Yes. Don't you think it's like
No.
that? This is buena gente. Like, we get each other. Like, they don't have to know why or explain why, but it's like they were both oppressed, and
Unspoken,
that
Yeah.
comes out. You know what I mean? It's like how like
Mm.
my nerd friends in high school weren't the popular kids, and that's what bonded us.
Trauma
we thought
bonding.
We were cool.
But look at us now. Look
Yeah.
at us now.
You guys are thriving.
I think the only place that we see that interaction that we're talking about is Darrow's internal monologue of him being curious about why it is that Severo would be loyal to him or like him at all. I don't think we get a conversation about it.
I think we do. I don't know why I feel like I remembered I was gonna say Roque, Severo explaining that to Darrow, but maybe not. All right. We'll see as we keep reading if it happens or not. But I could have
Write
Well, it
in.
comes up in-
Somebody we've never really asked the audience, Pierce, to
Pierce?
write in.
Yeah.
We asked you to come on the show.
Pierce, come on the
But an
podcast.
email will do. Just email us and just clear that up for us. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I think so. It comes up in part 4. At the very end of part 4, there's a little moment when we not to get to it in this part 4, where Severo is editing the footage. Right?
Yes.
We'll say no more about it. But that is the only other time that we see, for no reason, Severo helping Darrow without much of an explanation. And nothing. Here's a weird thing about Severo. He never asks for anything in return. It's kind of inexplicable to me, besides that friendship.
Yeah, I think that Severo entered the Institute with a plan. Thanks to the help of Fitchner, whether it was implicit or explicit. The plan is, I'm smaller than everybody else, but I can be grosser and I can be grittier, and I don't have to be valedictorian. I just have to survive until the end. So I'm going to leave, do my own thing, and then I think that they're both, are we going to, like, spoiler, like, Severo, but aside from just being, small and bullied in a Bronzy his whole life, is part red.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Darrow is a red at heart and grew up. Like, I think that there is truly like I don't think they can articulate it, but I think that neither of them have friends, or like Severo's not used to having friends. I think Darrow doesn't have friends in this world, and I think it might be like pure and friendship. Like, I think those might be the motivations early on in this phase. They just really
sometimes
like each
you
other.
just mesh.
Just friends.
Yeah.
They just understand each other without like having to say it.
I mean,
Do we think?
Sorry, we have that whole scene where Darrow's like, "I know you killed Priam," and Severo's like, "Well, I know you killed Julian." So
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And they never talk about it again.
Yeah, Darrow's
And
like,
then they're
never
bonded
wanted
by
to.
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. So we know, I forget who does this summary, but we are told that if you are invited to attend the Institute, there is no saying no.
Cassius
I
tells us
flagged that. Yeah,
Right.
Cassius tells us that because in that scene, I say, sorry, Nick, I think Julian might have been a good guy this whole time, like I thought before.
Yeah, well, so we know that Julian is selected by Augustus.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. Why is Severo selected?
And last, too.
I mean,
like, one of the
Fitchner's still a
last
proctor.
ones, right?
Fitchner is a proctor. We get the sense that Fitchner has given Severo some heads up about, like, effectively training. He's the only one who knows how to start a fire, right? He can kill things with his bare hands. He can live in the wild by himself. He has an idea about what the passage is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's probably.
But he was sent to die.
I really think
sent
it's
to
probably either that he was sent to die or that Fitchner had him put in there. And because either way, they put him up against Priam. They did not want him there.
Right.
I think he was sent to die, and in part because he's Fitchner's kid. Fitchner's a Bronzy, and as a proctor, if your ilk isn't strong enough to make it in the gold world, then it's not worth it. So I feel like all proctor kids would probably have to be like put up just based on like the even unspoken.
So why
rules
does
of
that
the
end with
society.
proctors?
But part 4, sorry, Sam, part 4, we have these great moments with Fitchner where Darrow is pointing out, like, Fitchner, you have a paunch. You could easily get rid of those with 5 minutes.
That's part 3.
Is it?
Yeah, fuck you, that's part 3.
I think it's part 4. I think it's part 4.
It's not, because if I know it, it happened in part 3.
It's definitely,
Okay.
it's part 3.
And
it's on the
so
roof. They have a moment.
Fitchner gets mad and honest for the first time because he's mad, where he's like, I can kill an obsidian with my bare hands. You know, I can, he went out for the Rage Knight position. We get that is mentioned. And Fitchner has this very honest moment where he's like, why should I change how I look to fit some gold ideal?
Yeah. Hits a nerve.
Hits a nerve.
For the Institute, you have to be invited, or can you apply? Because did Severo just apply?
Oh, that's your scores.
But why
right?
do you take the test?
Right.
Are you... Yeah, because how did Darrow, there's no way Darrow got invited.
Right.
Who's the character, this is a part 4 reference, that is a really good singer and was going to sing in Vienna, but instead gets a better option and is invited to the Institute.
She is the throwaway. She's a pure throwaway character.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
Let's get into it. Just kidding. We
Not
won't.
June the Baker.
Not June the Baker, who got a lot of airtime.
In an unaired episode, we talked about June the Baker.
I really
way
hope
too
June
much.
the Baker comes back in Red
so
Guy.
much.
Just a full circle there.
Oh man.
That's so funny.
Oh. Well,
All right, ratings, right?
Wait, I have more to say. I have a
Okay,
list. It
okay.
can be fast, but there's a
Okay.
few things. First of
We
all,
literally
narrow
also
watch.
have not yet talked about the whole Cassius, drawing Darrow out in that whole betrayal yet. The part that I thought, Craig, you wanted to get to.
It was
Yeah.
a flyby, yeah.
No, I mean, he kills him, I mean, like, he stabs him.
Yeah,
That's all that
we're
happens.
there. Yeah.
We're there.
Okay, so I just want to be on Uncle Narrow watch.
Uncle
If you're in the
Narrow.
book, top of page 210, we just get notes from Darrow about how the reaping dance helped him fight.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
In chapter 32, Roque wants to kiss Leah, and Darrow reminisces about how
Oh, yeah.
he got
Eo.
slapped in the butt. Right?
Yeah, and he's like, I
have
think
some
Uncle Nero
autocorrect
made that
issues
up.
in my notes. Yeah,
No, that's true.
Yeah, so he gets slapped in the butt is a tradition. Neril did it to him with a sling blade before he
Yeah.
went and kissed Io, and then he's like,
Yeah.
"I think that might have been a
I
lie."
have a question.
Yeah.
This is overarching question, not specific to a single part. The whole reaping dance helping him fight. Is there more to that than
Mhm.
just
Yes.
oh, it helped me fight? Is that part of the reason why it's banned?
That's a trend throughout the whole book
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah.
being dancing, allowing
Like,
Darrow to be
is
a
this
better fighter.
an artifact?
I've never connected it to why it would be
Like,
banned. I think that's
banned.
Right?
a
Is this maybe an
beautiful
artifact
connection.
of
Ooh.
like past Reds? Hey, this was a way they tried to fight back, and Gold was like, we're banning even the dance.
I don't
Because it kind
know
of
about that.
taught them moves that like will help them defend themselves in a fight with a gold.
I think it's just a symbol of oppression to say what
But the
you can
best
and
symbols of
cannot do.
oppression are also ones that stop you from doing something that could let you fight back.
Yeah, I don't think it's unrelated, but I
Yeah.
don't know that it's that direct. Like I would
Gotta
believe
ask
that they
Pierce.
like banned dancing, and then as a
Yeah.
form of protest, a dance was formed. Based
But I
on.
love that connection to
some
it.
fighting?
It being
do too.
related
I
to
love
fighting,
that.
and I think we could ask the question: why does it help with fighting? But I think there's also
Why that
Yeah.
specific dance versus any
Mhm.
other one? Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
just another great
All right. Uncle
Narrow
Nero.
mention. I'm
Narrow.
dedicated to elevating Narrow status.
And
that's-
June,
Yeah.
the
And
baker.
June
Justice
the
for
baker.
June.
I can track June.
Yeah, please track June.
Yeah, Liz, you're on June.
Yeah.
I also want to mention PAX.
oh,
Because again, we don't have a lot of time to talk about PAX specifically, so I want him to be honored here.
Yeah.
I love the thought. I forgot he wasn't in
Mhm.
House Mars. I think I thought he was,
Mhm.
and I just love the thought of him and Virginia both being in Minerva. And you don't know this at the time. I don't even think you know this for like 3 books, but just the fact
yeah,
that
2
they were
books, maybe.
essentially siblings
Mhm.
growing up, and how much she loves him and loves his
Yeah.
family. It's gonna make me cry even harder next part. But I just think of like the little moments of like them being in the same house and what their parents might think, or his parents might think.
Yeah.
And like, I just get chills, but
God,
that's so sweet.
It's really sweet. I think Pierce has he goes on other podcasts that are not as good as this one. Pierce, come on the podcast, and discusses how important the quiet moments are. Book 1, here's a sort of off topic. Book 1, Pierce didn't have an editor, apparently. And so we noticed the difference from book 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like immediately there's the pace of book 2 on is crazy, even compared to book 1. But we do have these interspersed moments of quiet, which in themselves are also like, we won't get into it, but Darrow going back to visit his mom, book 2, chef's kiss moment, right? And then we have some moments in part 4 that are also kind of the quiet times in between. I forget where I was going with that, but
Well, I have a few more one-offs. So in that conversation that we were talking about, Fitchner and Darrow were having, Fitchner mentions an Iron Rain for the first time. So that kind of comes back all the way to here. And Darrow calls out how he's an outsider, just like him and Severo, which is just like, again, didn't think of anything of it first book. Now that I'm reading it, like every line by line, word by word, I'm like, he doesn't even know that they're alive. So that's one. That's just a one-off. Also, in chapter 30, howlers were first mentioned in chapter 30.
That's
So
right.
thought I would throw that out there.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment where in chapter 30, which is deep in part 3, like there's only, I think, 33 chapters in part 3. There's a moment where like the gold kids in the Institute are still like having fun playing this game of the Institute, and they like call it out, and I'm like, that's just late. That's late in the game to still be having fun, you guys. This is not fun.
I think that's
I get it at the
But
beginning, but
that's
holy
part
shit.
of we get thrown into the fire with House Mars, and I think that's part of showing that House Mars
Mhm.
had it harder than they did. So I think that's part
Yeah,
of it.
that's true.
Yeah, I think Mars and Pluto were definitely the ones that had it the roughest.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Lilith is introduced in chapter 32, who I find fascinating. It's in the Antonia
course.
chapter, which I think is just like an
Mhm.
amazing pairing of like two
Mhm.
great villains to be.
Yeah.
All I think I really wanted to make sure I said about this was I just love it when a character is like an immediately scary omen and you don't even
Lilith is
necessarily know
terrifying.
why, but you're
Holy
supposed
cow.
to like you're supposed to be scared and you know that now every time you see her in the rest of the
Yep.
series you're supposed to be scared.
And
I
there's
love it
no
when characters
question
are like
about
that.
it.
Yeah.
I love that.
No.
Yeah.
Dara's
Well-
like, she's a different kind of scary, like just cold.
She is really
Yeah.
scary. Sort of to that point, I don't know if any of you first read noticed the names of the Howlers, but the fact that later in the series, Scarface gets so much screen time. Do you all remember this?
Oh, no, that hasn't happened for some of us yet.
Way to go. I marked mine. I
And
marked
it's
I'll
mine.
mark it.
Scarface.
Oh,
And,
not
uh,
Scarface. Sorry, Screwface.
And we
Oh,
won't go
Screwface,
farther
yeah.
there because that's
Yeah.
a great element of what's coming.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait,
Mm.
do I know about this? Or is
okay.
it second? Okay.
Nope,
No,
you don't.
Not
Sorry.
yet.
Thanks.
Not. That's it. That's all we're saying on the matter. But I don't remember if this was in the episode which shall not be aired, so I'll say it again. But Cassius came up with all those Howler
Yeah.
names. And we
Yeah.
love
Nick,
that.
I think
Nick brought that
was it
up.
me
That's
or was
right.
it? I thought it was Sam. Oh,
No, I think it was you, Nick.
Thanks,
But
guys.
I want it to be heard, maybe for the second time, maybe for the
Yeah.
first time, for those who are listening.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was my like lightning
Okay.
round. I just
Now,
want to get that stuff
deep
out.
dive
Okay.
into Cassius and Darrow, right?
Now we start from the beginning.
Okay, hang on, real fast. Back to Lilith. How I think all 3 books of the trilogy, Lilith is an omen. Here she's
Ooh, that was in my notes. I wrote
really,
omen,
because I mean
literally.
it's
Yeah.
that's the moment where something's about to get real. In book 1, she's the one who brings the holocube.
Right.
In book 2, she's the outsider at the gala. That like she's the first
Ooh.
one that they're like, wait, I
Mhm.
recognize her, and it's Lilith being one of the servants at the gala. And then in
Whoa.
book 3, she is there. Sorry, we're jumping ahead to book 3, but she's there when they're attacking when they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, we got to roll out. Give us a
Yeah.
rating, Liz.
I will rate it. Ooh, this was good. And second reread, I would rate it a 3.5.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I'll go with
I'm also in the 3.5
Me
to
too.
4 range.
Me too.
solidly.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. I
Also-
think that's solid.
We're gonna have
All
to
right,
pick
and-
up and actually
Good.
do a little bit of a deep dive on the duel between Cassius and Darrow when we talk about part 4. Yeah,
We'll pick it up in part 4.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
good
Ciao.
stuff.
Bye.
Ciao. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Next time, we close out our discussion of Red Rising and look ahead to Golden Sun. A microcosm of the tale as a whole, we'll talk about how Darrow rises from the mud to find love and death, climbing the golden corporate ladder to Olympus. Nick and I will duel over whether Darrow is a reliable narrator and how that might impact the climactic scenes towards the end of the book. To send us your thoughts, email thehowlerbookclub@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram at Red Rising Book Club. Red is spelled READ. Thanks again for reading with us, and we'll see you next week.